everybody, sir.
Hi everybody, it's Glenda.
So, I just got my Dungeons and Lasers. This is their second Kickstarter. This is the one that you actually get the dragons with. So if you want to see what's inside, what I got with this Kickstarter, stay tuned. So, Dungeons and Lasers.
Dungeons and Dragons
so easy
are all
mess
different from Dungeons and Lasers.
I am going to mispronounce, but Archon Studios. You may remember we've actually had Dungeons and Lasers. This is our second Kickstarter we've gotten from them for Dungeons and Lasers. But what was the game? I have a game from them. I know I have a game from them.
Yeah, we don't know where it's at because there's so many games here.
Oh my god.
Eric wouldn't even know where it's at.
I just got...
I bet you he does not know where it's at.
And I just got all the second edition stuff for it. Oh my.
Well, just stay tuned and we'll find out where it's at.
That's just annoying. Well, I know the second edition stuff's over there. No, that's the Mutant Chronicles stuff. There's so much in this room. That's the problem. I need a bigger room.
Here's the problem.
So, we're going to take a look inside. I got this. I've got some of the rooms. I got the stretch goals. I got the dragon I bought and the one that came with it. And then I've also got the doors. So,
let's start. I think you just hurt the box. I'm going to throw it anyway.
Well, let me tell you. These boxes really don't seem like they're designed for it to stay in the box. Okay, so this is the core sci-fi set.
Motion detector ghost beat. 7 to 8 terrain parts, durable plastic, and tabletop ready.
And they're pretty tough. It's not really doesn't seem like it's that much of a joke.
Dang,
so you do have your 4 floor plates too. So it's not just the walls. The walls connect to the 4 floor plates. Mm-hmm. So you actually can have rooms and tunnels and hallways. And that was kind of what I was going for. I originally kind of got into these for when I was starting to build my Star Wars Legion stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I started looking at more when I was building up my aliens and predators. Now...
No, you just buy it. Didn't I say it right?
Well, no,
you buy it.
You broke my concentration. There's a
game.
There's a game out there. I know there is.
What are you gonna use this for? No, he just buy it. It looks really good. But he just buy it. Doesn't matter what game. He can use it for all the other games.
And it has you have the whole thing of connectors here too. Not to mention the ones that are on the sprues themselves, but you have a bunch of different and extra here.
How you want to connect it, how you want to build it.
Now, if I remember correctly, the core set will give you almost like a 2 by 2 foot playing area. And hopefully right now, maybe I've taken some of these off and you're seeing like maybe a close-up or a 360.
Correct. Close-up would be good.
Of some of this put together.
You see the design, you know. So now that's what you're actually seeing.
At least
they're heavy-duty too.
I'm probably at least showing you up-close sprues.
Up close and personal. Heavy. No joke.
Now, the first 2 Kickstarters, you had the choice of getting sci-fi or fantasy for the core set. Now that the third Kickstarter is actually running, I think it only has a few days left. It's got the fantasy set, or you can make the sets that allow you to do the 2-story buildings. But a lot of people are going for the sewer sets and the street sets that come now. So they got a set that has a It's the underground is the sewer. You can get the cobblestone street set, like the rooms for this one. And one of the things I saw was a lava room, which was like a translucent orangey red room. So.
No glue assembly, guys. Built-in grid.
Well, they want you to be able to take it apart and make different setups instead of just one.
Whatever, however you want to design it, this game, change it, make it into this one.
So I do have the Sci-Fi Vault, the Sci-Fi Room here. It's Vault 7. We'll just stick that over there because eventually this is all going to pile. You get your same sprue connectors that you got with the core set. Now with the Vault set, obviously you get your floor plates, your wall plates, and you get the round door that you would find in a vault.
I'm not sure price. You got the sci-fi one.
Sci-fi.
American sci-fi.
American sci-fi.
That's Malcolm too. Sci-fi. Sci-fi guy.
Well, I still have number 1 over there, so I can go grab the other rooms too, since we're going through this, because they were available with this Kickstarter too.
Cursed Cathedral.
Cursed Cathedral. Now this was a fantasy set, but I don't know. I thought it could go either way.
Well, if you go to sci-fi, goes to a different dimension, or what do you call that? There is the cathedral.
Well, I was kind of thinking monastery type thing.
Correct.
And it's got your cathedral windows. It's got like a cobblestone floor plan, like maybe brick or stone or something. And you've also got your arched entryway. Now you notice
this is awesome.
With the rooms, you do get one thing of the connectors with each one of the room boxes. And then you get 3 sprues.
Well, you should, because they don't assume that you have the other ones. So for every box, you have your connector. But it says, Eric, it's a cursed cathedral fantasy room. So it's not just a cathedral, it's cursed.
Well, we also have the Temple of the Operators here. Let's see what the Temple of the Operators looks like. So, you want to look at one?
This place looks abandoned and perfectly safe.
So this has got a lot of like skull imagery on it, and like I was saying, you get your connector.
Well, like they said, it looks abandoned, but safe. What made you say that?
I don't know.
Skull right here.
Now I'm just interested.
Really get it.
Because like I was saying, this particular set, you were able to get the other rooms, and I just happen to have the rooms from when I did the first Kickstarter.
So might as well unbox it, open it, show it to you guys.
Because
we're here.
I never did when I got the original Kickstarter.
That's all.
I mean, I know Archon Studio was asking for people to do the unboxings and send them to them, but I mean, it was just I don't remember. It was like I think in the middle of COVID or something. So this is the AI Center. This is like the computer bank area, and they even with the first Kickstarter, they're following the same format with their extra room. You get 3 sprues plus you get your connector.
Connector is always going to be there for everybody. Because you need it.
Well, while you're taking them apart, putting them back together, and using them, you're gonna break connectors.
Correct. Break and lose it. That's gonna happen. But all these different ones, nice.
And then we have the Sci-Fi Room, and this is the
Xeno
Genesis. This was the one that I was kind of like, oh, aliens.
sci-fi, like I said. Like aliens, like sci-fi.
And it's got that alien webby type thing, you know,
Yeah.
even the entryway kind of reminds me of, you know, how they, in the aliens when they went, the Marines set down, and they were going through and how they'd started converting it into their own home and changing it.
This would be awesome with the sound effects while you're playing. Aliens.
Hopefully you guys are seeing some pretty good up close of these sprues.
Did you just get that from me? Why?
Because we're going on to the engine room, that's why.
The engine room, the most important one. We gotta have the engine room. Everybody's trying to fix everything.
It's just like a pile going on over there. Alright, connectors, boom.
Engine room.
So you do get your engine room.
That.
You'll notice that the walls are two-sided. A lot of times you don't see that in this type of terrain. You'll see like a one side because they don't assume you're going to be even looking at the other side.
But hey, this one is, I mean, for you to do it, you know, both sides.
And then you got like a squared entryway.
That takes a lot of thinking to design this. Beautiful. He's gonna get it from my hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I want to have it the same direction going over there.
There you go, same direction. Gotta be the same direction.
So, the one thing that has been some discussion was there was an add-on you could do for functional doors. And apparently a lot of people, and I think myself included, I believed it too, that you got the whole archway in the door, but all you really get is the door going to the archways on the rooms.
What we already have.
Right. And they do have a setup diagram to show you how to put the doors onto the sprues.
So you're talking like the picture is misleading?
Yeah, and they admitted they understood that and they apologized. It was a little misleading.
Yeah.
People believe.
This one not included.
Now, this was something that came with Dungeons and Lasers Part 2. This you didn't wasn't offered in the first Kickstarter. Hence, Dungeons and Lasers 2.
You see, there's a number 2. It tells you it's not in the first one.
And this is what you get. You get the parts that attach to the doorways of most of those, so that you have doors that can open and close on your game.
Goodness gracious, this is awesome. So, you're telling me, which you already established, you said that, all is you can just connect it all together.
And you'd have a very large layout.
You can have this door, yeah. This is really nice.
I mean, even if you wanted to play the new Gale Force 9 Aliens game, you could actually take your maps and set up your template, and you could just build this out so you could play in these. Yeah. It wouldn't be very difficult at all.
So where did this go? Here you go.
Oh. She's mean, folks. So, in the Dungeons and Lasers 2, you got Jerry the Jello for free. He was one of the free things you got.
It was a Jello? Is it really Jello?
He's a Kickstarter exclusive here.
Jello soft?
Now this is kind of like a fantasy style figure. So it's like a jousting skeleton.
Let's go jousting. Yeah, what?
But they've got it's a lot of little bits and pieces, things that they've been giving in these Kickstarters. I mean, heck, this one alone has 3 boxes of stretch goals. 3. I'm gonna click it back in the box.
Jello. Cherry to Jello.
Before we get to the stretch goals, we'll go ahead and take a look at the 2 dragons. Now, the Denouncer came with the Kickstarter. I believe it was a stretch goal. And part of the pledge that I had, you were allowed to get one dragon. I wanted the Xeno Dragon because reality, I need a alien queen for my alien army, and I figured it would make a nice model.
And there you go.
But let's take a look at Oregon, or however you want to pronounce that. That sounds about right.
Oregon.
The announcer. Now these do come with instructions, luckily, on how to put them together.
Because we'll be needing it.
And it's a nice Oriental dragon. I mean, there's nothing...
Is that what it's supposed to be? Oriental Dragon?
It looks like an Oriental dragon.
That's why it's Oregon?
I wasn't going there. I was just saying it looks like it.
Oregon. Let me see.
While you're looking at that, I'm going to take the Xeno Dragon out.
So awesome.
Xeno Dragon has a little bit more sprue. And apparently he has a few eggs at his feet. But not a bad little setup. It will be a very nice queen.
It's gonna be the queen. Dragon. Or Oregon. Or Oregon.
As I fold this instruction manual up, I hear millions of voices crying out in pain.
What, at the box?
Because I just, folded and folded something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I can't believe he folded it!
Cannot do that. Oh my god, but see, when they painted it, I mean, they show how it's put together and painted. It looks really good.
So, part 1 of 3 of the stretch goals. This is a fantasy and sci-fi themed Kickstarter. So we get a mixture of fantasy and sci-fi. So,
Fantasy. I like fantasy. And Eric is a sci-fi. Even figures, I like my fantasy.
okay. Well, we'll put them right back in. So you have a lot of stuff to put together.
Oh wow. A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, you're right. We're probably not going to get that back in the box.
That's awesome. The creatures.
Oh, it's got the iron. There's the Iron Lady right here. And look.
See that? Oh my god. It's awesome.
Oh, you even got a lamp on the thing.
That's why I said you're seeing a little bit of this and that. I mean, wow.
And these are pretty. They're pretty thick. It's not a thin plastic.
You got a sword. You got a shield.
And while she's finishing up looking at those, I'm going to open up number 2.
And number 2. Of course, you got a bark.
Yeah. So apparently, folks, we either have a fox, coyote, or a very young wolf running around the house lately at night.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Alright, so this is number 2 of 3.
It's beautiful.
This looks like there's quite a bit of the sci-fi in here.
Yeah?
And it comes with 2 different bridges. Comes with a fantasy stone style bridge, and it comes with like a fantasy sci-fi style bridge.
It's freestyle. No, really.
And this one looks it gives you a manual for all the stretch goals.
With all this, you can just whatever create your game, whatever. Doesn't matter. Freestyle. Here, you have a scenario. You have what you need with everything. I mean.
So that's number 2.
That's awesome.
And last but not least, this is Stretch Goal Box 3. Now, hopefully you guys have been seeing some up close of all these sprues. This would be a little too much to, I think, what we normally would do would be put everything together and do 360-degree views. There's a lot here. So I'm thinking you probably have just seen the sprues at this point. But you've probably seen close-ups of the sprues.
Close-up of the sprues.
Alright, so this is the last. So in here, you have 2 things of connectors. A dragon ball. Yeah. So another style of fantasy style bridge.
Could be creatures or whatever.
Yeah. Could be just a little bit of everything.
It's actually nice.
So in here, I guess you get 3 different bridges. Even if you don't want, the fantasy ones for your sci-fi sets, and you didn't buy the fantasy sets, it's not like you can't use them for something else. They're fairly good sized.
Look at this.
Apothecaris.
Oh wow.
So, and that is Stretch Goal Box 3. The 1, 2, and 3, and then you have everything else, because we showed you 6 rooms, the core set, Oregon, Xeno Dragon,
Even
and
Jello.
Jerry the Jello.
Jello.
Jerry the Jello, folks.
Jerry the Jello. Well, this is a lot. And I like what I see here. I really like it.
It's a very nice Kickstarter. It's a good train set. The other thing too is that the Dungeons and Lasers, like I said, they're on Kickstarter 3 now. They've already delivered 1. This is number 2 that I got delivered today, and 3 hasn't ended yet. So they're staying pretty well on track with their delivery dates for this.
They're local. I mean,
No.
US.
They're not.
Oh.
Europe, I believe.
Wow, that's pretty good.
The quality is nice, and as I said, the third one isn't a sci-fi and fantasy, it's a fantasy, but it's more like being able to make second floors and buildings and roofs, but you can also go underground into... So sorry, it is late. You can also go underground down into the sewers. It also gives you the ability to do the cobblestone streets and sidewalks. So if you're interested, as you're watching this, the Kickstarter 3 is probably still running, and it's got the add-ons. It's got dragons you can add on. It's got different rooms you can add on. I believe the only thing you can't add on is the sci-fi core set. I think you can just get the fantasy or the sewer sets.
Pretty happy about it?
Oh yeah, I just wish I could get the team together, because this is something that could take like a week setting up the table so we could play a certain game into it. Now I know that Blackside Studios Anomaly's going to be coming out soon. They're still playtesting it, and that's like a 3-player game. But this would work great for that because, it's basically
correct.
It's basically based on the Aliens ideal.
And you got a lot of games. It's sci-fi, alien.
I have a lot of them.
Whatever scenarios you want, and even the fantasy. I mean,
Trying to figure out what that stupid Archon. Chronicle X. Chronicle X is the Archon Studios game I
That
have.
sounds familiar. Because I remember.
And you could use this for Chronicle X because it's
theirs too.
It's Martians, folks. It's aliens. It's sci-fi.
It's
Sci-fi.
It's very useful. for a gamer, I guess this is really very useful. I mean, yeah, we know that. You might disagree with me, but you have everything. So I guess freestyle, whatever style, play it, be happy with it. It's actually pretty good.
As always, folks, support your local gaming. We support
Discover Games in Fayetteville, Georgia.
Game On, everybody.
Game on!